Hello there, my name is Logan, but you can call me Copycat99, and today I've got another deck tip for you. Thought I'd show off my take on this Cad Bane Tarkintown list that's been running around recently. This is not like a traditional mid-range build of Cad Tarkintown. I've been trying out this more low to the ground. It's on 15 1-drops, which makes your turn 1 play like pretty unique and a lot harder to answer in some matchups, which has its pros and its cons. It definitely runs out of gas faster than the mid-range deck that does like Cad Banes and sometimes Devastators even to claw out those last points of damage that you need to kill people, but you definitely get the upside to killing your opponent faster. So I put a Lady Proxima at the front because I haven't seen Lady Proxima lists, and I thought I'd talk about conclusion of my particular take of the deck. So a thing I hate about most 1-drops is they are really weak to 1 damage ping. Just getting your board wiped by an IG-2000 sucks. Because Bo Potato Vault is a pretty popular deck right now, and that's something you have to think about. So Lady Proxima is a really sticky 1-drop with 4 health. And, you know, whenever you play an Underworld, you get to ping your opponent's base. So if Lady Proxima does, I think 4 damage is usually my threshold of, like, if this were a Reckless Gunslinger instead and hit my opponent twice. If it does at least 4, I'm usually happy with it. If it does more than 4, it feels pretty great. And again, it's just really sticky. Like, having a nice, large butted 1-drop to stick on the board is really nice. It's sweet that she still pings your opponent's base if you play McClunky, because she's Underworld card, not Underworld unit, so you can McClunky her and still get a damage, and then you can run her back out, which is nice. So yeah, all in all, she's been okay. I don't think she's, like, overperformed. She has, like, adequately performed. And the other options kind of suck. So she's not competing with much. She's competing with, like, Dengar, which is a 2-2 vanilla. Next up, 3 Greedo. Greedo's insane. This deck, obviously, it doesn't have much room for non-unit cards, so you won't hit the 2 damage that often. But he's just a 3-power 1-drop with the Underworld trait. And importantly, Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter is great because we're playing Mist Hunter, and sometimes you want to redraw your grip with Mist Hunter, especially when you lead double 1-drop, you're down a card compared to your most opponents, so being able to recoup that advantage through Mist Hunter is really nice. Then 3 Guavian Antagonizer. This is like the best 1-drop in the deck. The Bounty almost doesn't matter. Being a 1-cost 2/3 Underworld unit with Saboteur doesn't die to the traditional 1 or 2 damage ping. Having Saboteur means that it gets to snipe village protectors or isn't hidden by sentinels. It's just all around great. Then 3 Reckless Gunslinger. This gives the deck a little bit of reach. Just giving instant burn on play is nice. Smuggle is very good. Also, again, this deck, sometimes you kind of just dump your hand. You play double 1-drop on turn 1, you play 2-drop plus 1-drop on turn 2, and you need some way to recoup that advantage and be able to have enough gas to close the door. And having a Smuggle Underworld card that sometimes you can play on 1 as well is really nice. You can, in the late game, sometimes you can have a Proxima in play, smuggle a Gunslinger, hit your opponent for 2 damage, 1 off the Proxima, 1 off the Gunslinger. McClunky the Gunslinger back to your hand, replay the Gunslinger, deal your opponent another 2 damage. So you just end up like chaining together these small instances of burn to be able to close out the game. Next is 3 Criminal Muscle to wrap up the 1-drops. I tested Gengar briefly, and then I was losing to 2/2 Shieldeds, and I went back to the Criminal Muscles. It's a shame that this doesn't have Bounty Hunter tag, but if your opponent leads a 2/2 Shielded, it's really annoying. Like, it can 2-for-1 your 1 health, 2 drops, which is really annoying. But they lead 2/2 Shielded, you play Criminal Muscle, use Criminal Muscle to bounce the shield. Since it's a token, it just poofs. And then you can still trigger Cad and ping it, and then you can Tarkintown it. So you can lead double 1-drop and kill their 2/2 Shielded, which is what Criminal Muscle enables. So it feels pretty great when that happens. You can bounce Entrenched occasionally and get damage against hard control that they aren't expecting. You can bounce Fallen Lightsaber with this. If they tap out for a Fallen Lightsaber on 3 resources and you Criminal Muscle it, not like you're ever letting a turn 1 play stick ideally. You're almost always Tarkintowning their turn 1 play. to get up that tempo. But if that does end up happening, yeah, you can just bounce Fallen Lightsabers or like bounce a Fallen Lightsaber that they put on Talazin and make them really sad. But this card like overperforms. It does a lot for such an unassuming one cost Underworld unit. And like I said, 15 ones, like it makes turn 1 really consistent. And there's 6 2s as well, I believe. So it's just you rarely brick. Like you can mull pretty aggressively for the tech cards because you will hit a decent turn 1 pretty often. And then for 2s, we got 3 Bazine and 3 Aura Sing. Aura Sing is just like she's a 2-cost 3/4 that has the Underworld tag, like essentially. It's a little annoying that she doesn't trade very well, but other than that, like she's really aggressive. She can smack your opponent in the face. Again, Bounty Hunter for Mist Hunter. Mist Hunter is just an exceptionally powerful card with cheap Bounty Hunters, and Aura Sing is part of that package. Bazine was rarely played from hand. It's played pretty often from row, honestly. Being able to Smuggler on 4, recoup that card advantage, and then be able to snipe an OB the turn before they play it, snipe a Sentinel before the turn before they play it. Like, just picking out your opponent's key cards, their answers to your flood of 1-drops is really, really powerful. And you can pick it up with McClunky and do it again because she's Underworld, obviously. So she's like a CAD staple, of course, for playing Bazines. But she feels really nice in this shell. Now we've got 3 Boba Fett and 3 Nihil Marauder and 3 Mist Hunter for 3 drops. Boba Fett is honestly just a 3-cost 3/5. You rarely end up attacking your opponent's stuff. This deck is like between aggro and tempo. It likes to end the game pretty quickly. Ideally by your Cad flip or on your Cad flip. It wants to end the game. So he's just a 3-cost 3/5. Again, cheap Bounty Hunter, has the Underworld trait, the things you're looking for. And then Nihil Marauder hits slightly harder. He hits 1 point harder and still has the 5 points of health. That makes him really sticky to actually hit your opponent. The trade-off is losing the Bounty Hunter tag, which is a little annoying, especially when you're trying to draw cards off of Mist Hunter. But we can't play 6 Boba Fett. If we could play 6 Boba Fett, I'd play 6 Boba Fett. So Nihil Marauder will have to do. Nihil Marauder with a gun does 6. Like, it kills people so fast. Like, it is a really aggressively statted 3-drop. That's hard to kill. And then Mist Hunter, obviously, I've already talked in extension about it. Like, it draws you cards. It's a 3-cost 3/4 space unit, which is a great baseline. It's Underworld. It triggers our leader. Like, it just, there's so much to like, and it allows, it's almost an engine on its own of like, if I play a 1-cost or 2-cost or Bounty Hunter unit and then attack with it and draw a card, like, that added the text draw card to, like, these already really good cards, these Greedos, these Aura Sings that we're going to play anyway. So it's really, really powerful. And again, the baseline is like a 3-cost 3/4 space unit, which we already play in some decks. Like, it's just 3-cost 3/4 vanilla. Next up is 3 Forlum and 3 IG-2000s for 4 drops. Forlum is obviously just the trading king. If they've got no board except for a 3/5, 3-cost 3/5, Forlum just gets to eat it. It's nice to be able to ambush and finish something off, or be able to ping a Village Protectors with Cad and then ambush him with a Forlum. If you do need to emergency remove something, Forlum's your guy. And he's really in here to make Zuckuss busted. Like, we're a pretty aggressive deck, and being able to lead this, and then, like, your opponent has to remove this, because otherwise you threaten a 7/7 ambush Zuckuss, and then your Zuckuss remains a 7/7 with Saboteur that can just beat him in the face. Like, it's so bad for them. So Forlum is, like, he's less good, and then in the more mid-range centric build where you control their board, and Forlum almost always gets that value trade. But he's worth making Zuckuss, like, a bombshell. And then 3 IG-2000. This is mainly for, like, space aggro. It's nice that if your opponent only has 1 unit in play, it does 2 with Cad, which is sometimes relevant. But it's just another space body to try and lane dodge a bit and pick off some dudes. Like, sometimes your opponent attacks into one of your 1-drops or your 2-drops, and they just have a wounded unit left in play, and you can play an IG-2000, pick it off, even if they have something else in play to soak the Cad ping, which is nice. It also has Overwhelm randomly, which comes up sometimes if your opponent plays a Space Sentinel. But it's really in here to bully Vader for, which comes up sometimes. I could definitely see cutting this down or moving it to the sideboard, but I haven't been testing sideboard with this deck extensively. This has more been a third deck for my trilogy lineup. I haven't been playing it too extensively in Premier Best of 3, but I'm still pretty happy with my list, and I think with some sideboard stuff you could get it into a serviceable spot if you wanted to play a slightly faster Cad Bane and a PQ. Then here is the Zuckuss. 5-cost 6/6 Saboteur. Just you kill it, or it'll hit you in the face for 6, or sometimes 7 with a forlom, or sometimes 8 with a gun, or sometimes 9 with both. It's just, he's so good at your opponent's nearly stabilized. All right, here's a Zuckuss. You answer it, or he's gonna continue to push you over the line, get the Cad to the finish line, which is awesome. Just such a scary beater. And then 3 Ruthless Raider. I've seen some lists pushing these to the sideboard, but I just feel like the deck doesn't quite have enough burn to close the door without them in the main in some matchups. So I've been rocking the full 3. This list is all 3 ofs because I feel like consistency is very important, especially when you're playing a more aggressively slanted deck like this. And yeah, 4/6 is just a really nice stat line where it dodges Fell and Takedown, which has been a pro to Ruthless Raider since set 1. But, which does come up, being a nice evasive attacker in space. And then, yeah, it just gives you extra burn versus control. Just don't get it No Glory. Just be a gamer and Bazine your opponent's No Glories before you play your Raiders. Yeah, it's felt pretty good to me in the list. And that's all for the units. Like I said, it's pretty low to the ground. Tries to end the game around Cadflet. Yeah, it's a much more aggressive take to Cad, which has been interesting testing. I played slower Cad builds in the past, and I don't know, they're meta dependent. I haven't played them in a tournament or anything because I haven't felt that they were in a good spot against my local meta. But I have been having a lot of fun playing this 1-drop spammy list and just killing people with Lady Proxima, even though Lady Proxima is kind of a bad card, but she just happens to be the best card in the slot. For non-units, why is the gun in the front? It shouldn't be. Whatever. 3 McClunky, 3 Surprise Strike, and 3 Hotshot Blaster. Surprise Strike and Hotshots are pumps. We're an aggressive slanted deck. We want to be able to kill our opponents, so having some fast damage out of hand is important. And then 3 McClunky, even in the more aggressive slanted build, this card is just so efficient. Deal 3 for 1 or deal 4 with Cad if your opponent only has 1 unit that you want to snipe. Or if your opponent has a 1 health unit and a 3 health unit, you get both of them with McClunky, which is insane. But yeah, I think its biggest draw in testing this deck was playing against Luke Datavolt, these space stacks, and being able to play Proxima. They play a 2-drop ship, or maybe not Proxima. Proxima is actually usually have to play her second to win the pass war. If you just play a Proxima, they're probably gonna pass and not let their turn 1 get Tarkintown. But if you play Guavian, then the Luke player plays Red Squadron My Way. And then you play your Proxima second. Sure, you lose out on 1 point of damage, which is annoying. And then you ping, and then you Tarkintown. And then next turn, they play Red 5. Now McClunky, picking up one of your 1-drops after it's attacked, kills the Red 5. And now it just feels really difficult to lose from that position. You've killed their first 2 turn plays, and you probably hit them for 4 or 5. The tempo is just in your favor, and you just can ride the tempo lead to the end of the game. So McClunky definitely excels in those, but there's always sometimes spots where McClunky kills the right thing it has to, and the interaction with picking up Bazine to get another snipe out of their hand, picking up Reckless Gunslinger to get some extra burn, they're just all really nice niche situations that come up sometimes, and makes it worth the slot. That's it for the deck. Like I said, I've been having a lot of fun playing a more aggressively slanted Cad. It's definitely a unique take on the archetype that is only being explored now, which is interesting. It's been having decent success in tournaments. That's originally why I picked it up. I saw it won a PQ someplace, and I take the list tweaked it a little bit, and now I'm settled on this 51 currently, yeah, I've been enjoying it quite a bit. So maybe you'll give it a spin in your locals or whatever. I think that's all I've got for this video. I will see you in the next one.